Marie Euphrosyne Spartali, later Stillman, was a British Pre-Raphaelite painter of Greek descent, arguably the greatest female artist of that movement. During a 60-year career, she produced over 100 works, contributing regularly to exhibitions in Great Britain and the United States. Life. Family background. Maria Spartali was the eldest daughter of Michael Spartali, a wealthy merchant, principal of the firm Spartali & Co. and Greek consul general based in London from 1866 to 1882. He had moved to London around 1828. In London, he married Euphrosyne, the daughter of a Greek merchant from Genoa. The family lived in the Georgian country house with a marble-pillared circular hallway on Clapham Common, known as the Shrubbery, with a huge garden and views over the Thames and Chelsea. In the summer months, they moved to the country house on the Isle of Wight, where her father developed the cultivation of grapes on his lands. In London, her father was fond of lavish garden parties where he invited up-and-coming young writers and artists of his day. Adulthood. She and her cousins Maria Zambacco and Aglaia Coronio were known collectively among friends as the Three Graces, after the chariots of Greek mythology, as all three were noted beauties of Greek heritage. It was in the house of the Greek businessman A.C. Ionides at Tulse Hill, in South London, that Marie and her sister Christine met Whistler and Swinburne for the first time. They were dressed in white with blue ribbon sashes. Swinburne was so overcome that he said of Spartali, "She is so beautiful that I want to sit down and cry." Marie was an imposing figure, around 1.9 meters tall and, in her later years, dressed in long flowing black garments with a lace hood, attracting much attention throughout her life. Spartali studied under Ford Madox Brown for several years from 1864, with his children Lucy, Catherine and Oliver. Rossetti, on hearing that she was to become a pupil to Madox Brown, wrote to him, "I just hear Miss Spartali is to be your pupil. I hear too that she is one and the same with a marvelous beauty of whom I have heard much talk. So box her up and don't let fellows see her, as I mean to have first shy at her in the way of sitting." Quote, she first sat for him in 1867. He wrote to Jane Morris on the 14th of August, "I find her head the most difficult I ever drew. It depends not so much on real form as on a subtle charm of life which one cannot recreate." She was the most intellectual of his models. She modeled for Brown, Burne-Jones, Julia Margaret Cameron, Rossetti, and Spencer Stanhope. Marriage in 1871. Against her parents' wishes, she married American journalist and painter William J. Stillman. She was his second wife, his first having committed suicide 2 years before. The couple had posed for Rossetti in his famous Dante pictures, though it is not certain if that is how they first met. He first worked for the American art magazine, The Crayon. His later job was a foreign correspondent for the Times. His job as a foreign correspondent resulted in the couple dividing the time between London and Florence from 1878 to 1883, and then Rome from 1889 to 1896. She also traveled to America, and was the only Britain-based Pre-Raphaelite artist to work in the United States. She had 3 children. Marie Spartali died in March 1927 in Ashburn Place Inn. Marie was cremated at Brookwood Cemetery, near Woking, Surrey, and is interred there with her husband. The grave is marked by a simple lawn headstone. Her last will and testament contains a letter where Marie wrote, "It seems rather absurd to make a will when one has neither possessions nor money to leave." She left various personal items, including some mementos photos from her life as an artist. Art. The subjects of her paintings were typical of the Pre-Raphaelites. Female figures, scenes from Shakespeare, Petrarch, Dante and Boccaccio, also Italian landscapes. She exhibited at the Dudley Gallery, then at the Grosvenor Gallery and its successor, the New Gallery, at the Royal Academy, and at various galleries in the eastern USA, including the Centennial Exhibition in Philadelphia in 1876. A retrospective show of her work took place in the United States in 1982, and another one at the Delaware Art Museum in 2015. The latter show transferred to the UK in 2016, opening at the Watts Gallery at Compton near Guildford in Surrey on 1 March 2016 until 5 June 2016. Works. David Elliott lists more than 170 works in his book. The following are the better-known works, as determined by the mention in other books which discuss the artist. The Lady Praised, Desire, Mariana, Portrait of a Young Woman, Forgetfulness, La Penserosa, Self-Portrait, Self-Portrait in Medieval Dress, Gathering Orange Blossoms, The Meeting of Dante and Beatrice on All Saints' Day, Madonna Pietra degli Scrovani, Love's Messenger, A Florentine Lily, The May Feast at the House of Folco Portinari, 1274, Dante at Verona, Upon a Day Came Sorrow unto Me, A Florentine Lily, A Florentine Wedding Feast, Messe Ansaldo showing Madonna Dianara His Enchanted Garden. This illustrates a tale from the Decameron. See Summary of Decameron Tales. Convent Lily, Cloister Lilies, Dante and Beatrice, scene from the Vita Nuova. St. George, How the Virgin Mary came to Brother Conrad of Offida and laid her son in his arms. A Rose from Armida's Garden. Love Sonnets. Beatrice, Portrait of Mrs. W. St. Clair Baddeley. Beatrice, The Pilgrim Folk.